Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry it's been a while, several weeks since the last video. Kind of takes me some time to iterate in Series 10. Been playing with a lot of fun concepts over on Showdown for the past few weeks, and what I ultimately landed on was a hyper-offensive team centered around Eternatus. Now, Eternatus has been, I don't know how you pronounce that by the way, it's been overshadowed by restricteds like Zacian, Kyogre, Xerneas, and Calyrex, basically the spiel I've given in every video so far. Those big four kind of overshadow all the other restricteds. But Eternatus really does bring a lot to the table. It has a base 145 special attack, 130 speed, and 140 HP. That means it hits hard, it hits fast, and it can take a punch itself. And on top of that, its signature Dragon Stab Dynamax cannon is only walled by Steel and Fairy. Its Poison Stab takes care of the Fairies, and it gets Flamethrower as coverage for the Steel types, which means offensively it really has a hard time being walled in general. And of course, it walls the big four non-restricteds. Incineroar, Rillaboom, Regieleki, and Urshifu Rapid Strike at least. All do not very effective damage into this dragon type with their stabs. So just really powerful if you can overlook the lack of like huge spread damage like the other big restricteds tend to have. So that is Eternatus, but what makes this team special? Well, like I mentioned earlier, this is hard hyper offense. Eternatus is rocking choice specs, so more than the, sometimes you'll see Power Meteor Beam, a lot of times you'll see Life Orb. I think Wolfie's done something like that recently. Choice specs is just raw damage and a lot of it. And we've got Choice Scarf Urshifu Single Strike to cover the physical side of things and handling hard matchups like the Calyrex-Is. It completely murders Calyrex Shadow, does a lot into Calyrex Ice, and Eternatus really doesn't like fighting Calyrex Shadow, so that's big. Now, both of these are susceptible to Fake Out, of course, with their choice items, and that's why we've got Sarina to round out this offensive core. Queenly Majesty shuts down Priority, Helping Hand boosts our offense, such that Eternatus can score big Okos on threats like Zacian, and even Geomancy boosted Xerneas. Helping Hand Choice Specs Sludge Bomb will Oko a Xerneas that has the special defense boost from Geomancy, which is amazing. It also serves as a taunt user that's immune to Spore and Sleep Powder, so that's really great. Amoonguss is very popular right now, and Sarina just completely shuts it down. These three alone can just run away with games from turn one if the opponent doesn't really know how to handle them. And as for the rest of the team, Hyper Offense requires speed control. We could go with a Prankster Tailwind setter, but all of those are weak to Ice, which is less than amazing. Meanwhile, Suicune is an amazing bulky Tailwind setter. This one in particular is running Calm Mind and Leftovers, and with a Modest Nature, and that's really great for capitalizing on your opponent's attempts to stall out the hyper-offensive teammates it has here. You have the huge damage coming in from Eternatus, coming in from Urshifu, coming in from Mamoswine down there, you can see, and if your opponent attempts to stall out the Tailwind to just slow down your offense, well, you can be stacking up boosts that whole time, which is really great. Focus Sash Mamoswine is here to help out with Eternatus' big ground weakness. Landorus in particular. We're running an Adamant Nature with our Focus Sash here, because that guarantees a kill on No-Bulk Landorus Incarnate with an Ice Shard. So you don't care about speed control, you just take it out with +1 priority. Finally, we've got a bulky Volcarona for redirection, and it improves our Zacian matchup, because I'd say Eternatus is basically even with it. It depends who has the speed control and who's taken some chip. But yeah, that's the team. Let's hop into some games. Yeah, I haven't played on cart in a while, so let's see how this goes. Okay, we're up against Nathan, and this looks like a standard Calyrex-I team until you look at the very first two mons on the team. That is a Trevenant and a Guzzlord, so someone's getting into the Halloween spirit. Very cool. How do we want to lead here? Definitely predicting a hard Trick Room lead, so Suicune seems strong to set up with Calm Mind and tank whatever they can throw at us. It'll take those Ice attacks very well. Urshifu will be good too because of the type advantage to basically their whole team. Yeah, we've got to bring our Restricted, of course. And yeah, no, Urshifu is amazing into this team. Fighting and Dark coverage covers basically everything that isn't Torkoal here. Torkoal and Zapdos. Restricted in the back, and then Volcarona just because it's bulky, and it'll be another switch into those Glacial Lances. And it is one of our few protects on this team, so that'll also be nice for stalling on Trick Room, because I don't think we can stop it with Mimikyu on their side, so we're just have to see. Good luck, Nathan. Okay, how are you leading? Ooh, that is a spooky lead. Is a Trevenant and Calyrex. This should be fine though. We've got that solid type advantage with Urshifu. I don't even know what Trevenant does, to be perfectly honest. We're gonna have to see. Frisk, that's a bit annoying. It's gonna know about our Scarf, which means they know we can't stall. Okay, so at this point, I think we can just go with a very simple opener. Since we can't stop a Trick Room, we will Calm Mind and then Wicked Blow to just get as much damage into Calyrex as possible. Maybe we should have doubled, but I just really like the idea of setting up. And Protect on Trevenant, which is interesting. Kind of weird in front of an Urshifu that has dark coverage into it, but I guess that means they'll go for Trick Room with Calyrex, and great damage. Love that. Okay. We got our Calm Mind up, of course. Calyrex will be very slow, but I'm pretty sure that means they're going for Trick Room. But now that we have our Calm Mind up, Suicune should be hitting very hard, and will resist those Glacial Lances, so, I mean, pretty sure that unless that Trevenant can heal or something, that they're definitely within range of a Scald. So, because we're tanky enough, we can just put a Scald into that slot, and I don't know if Urshifu can take a Glacial Lance, so we'll swap it into Volcarona, who definitely can. Trevenant goes first, and Forest's Curse. What does that even do? Oh, that's brilliant. It's going to make the Ice Attack super effective. It's crazy. But they add Grass. It doesn't change our typing. So I guess it's going to be neutral into Suicune now. Wow, that is a lot of damage. Okay. But yeah, it was neutral, so that's not terrible. Scald will go in. Great. Okay, so that's quite a bit of damage, but we take out their Restricted, and I think that's absolutely a win. So good job on Suicune there. So what are they bringing in next? Zapdos. Okay, Galarian Zapdos. I have no idea how fast that thing is. Could be a fast mode or just super bulky for Trick Room. Either way, it threatens both of us with flying coverage thanks to that Forest Curse, so we're in a bit of trouble. Suicune has its Calm Mind boost. I'd like to preserve it. So let's Scald the Zapdos and Rage Powder with Volcarona. And, you know, if we're lucky, we can even get a burn by forcing them to attack us. Trevenant goes for Protect again, and actually, that's a really bad move on their part. I totally forgot about the Grass Immunity to Rage Powder. They could have hit Suicune with a Grass move here. We'll always take mistakes on their parts, though. Scald goes into Zapdos, and we go first, which confirms it's not slow and bulky. And Acrobatics. Very weird. I was expecting a Brave Bird, but we survived, so once again, I'll take that, especially with our Citrus Berry. Calyrex is gone, which means no Unnerve, which means we can keep healing, so... and Suicune keeps healing with lefties, which I also like a lot. We're back into the green after taking that neutral Glacial Lance, so good stuff. We know Zapdos is fast, so easy Scald into that slot. And because Trevenant made Suicune Grass type, I guess it actually doesn't have coverage into us. That's right. They messed up their type advantage there. So my opponent makes the same conclusion I did. There's no offensive coverage, offensive pressure from Trevenant, so they swap into Indeedee, bring up their terrain. Okay, Psychic Seed. That explains the Acrobatics. Makes a lot of sense. But we'll just get our Scald off, even with that special defense boost. Oh, we get the burn too. Amazing. I mean, that's the third Scald we've done, so it's actually pretty average luck. We take the Acrobatics and Fiery Dance from Volcarona. Cool. So that double in was a great turn for us. The burn didn't really matter then. But yeah, I think we're in a very commanding position at this point, especially because we just still have our Restricted in the back. And we have Redirection now. With that said, they have spread damage with Indeedee, so I'm pretty sure that that Suicune is going down. Yeah, there's one more turn of Trick Room. So I think we're just gonna sack it while protecting Volcarona. We have a boost on our Volcarona from that Fiery Dance, so, and Suicune's absolutely done its job at this point. Huge MVP for this game. So we'll let it go down, and we can protect. follow me on Indeedee. I mean, I would have personally gone for the spread damage in their shoes, but it's not really going to matter. Yeah, they did have Horn Leech, but yeah, like I said before, I forgot about the Forest Curse that they put on us, so that was actually just a neutral hit. It probably wouldn't have killed us earlier in the game, but Trick Room is now over, which leaves our Scarf Urshifu free to just completely walk all over them. At this point, we can just safely split our damage. We could blow into Indeedee, and we could go for Struggle Bug to account for a Sash, but it's fine. We'll just... Do we want to do that? It definitely won't kill Trevenant. Let's just go for the Fiery Dance. It really doesn't matter. Like I said, we still have our restriction in the back. We could blow... It actually was Sash, so I'm kind of eating my words right now, but it's fine. Let's see how much our +1 Fiery Dance does into Trevenant. And the Invisible Sash. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Really should have gone for that Struggle Bug after all, but doesn't really matter. Shadow Ball on Indeedee. Does the female Indeedee get Dazzling Gleam? I know the male one does. Anyway, yeah, like I said, not really relevant. They can heal a little bit with that Horn Leech, but they didn't go for Trick Room. So we are 100% in the commanding lead now. We can just finish it off by splitting our damage one more time. Alright, yeah. Wicked Blow into Indeedee, and because our Fiery Dance is 100% accurate, that should wrap up this game. It was Urshifu and Volcarona on the board at the end, but this was very much a Suicune game, so great showcase of it there, and good game to Nathan. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, next we're up against ASAP, and this is a fairly standard Groudon Sun team, although I haven't seen a whole lot of Spectrier in Season 10, so that's pretty cool. I'm a little concerned, actually. I haven't really gone up against much Venusaur while testing in Showdown, but we have a bit of a problem with that. Fast Sleep Powder is going to be rough. I'm not really sure what our best lead into it would be here. Serena could be a really cool opener to stop Mienshao Fake Out and taunt Venusaur, but our Aqua Berry won't save us from Talonflame and Zapdos' flying coverage, or Venusaur's fast Poison Sludge Bomb. Choice Scarf on Urshifu isn't going to help much unless we get our own Tailwind going, and Sleep Powder would put a stop to that. Also, just Leaf Storm or Frenzy Plant or whatever that Venusaur is running. We do have fire coverage on both Eternatus and Volcarona, so we could lead that way, like kind of just all in. If they want to set up the Sun Forest, then we go ahead and take out their Venusaur by doubling into it with fire coverage. And if they do lead with Fast Sleep, then we can just guarantee it. Urshifu will be great cleanup in the back, and I like Mamoswine, since ice coverage goes well into a lot of this team, and the priority Ice Shard could be absolutely massive after its Focus Sash. Yeah, if you look at this, it has super effective damage into Venusaur, into Zapdos, into Groudon, and that Mienshao with Sash would go down to an Ice Shard, so... Yeah, I'm kind of just hoping they don't go with Venusaur at all. Could be a big pain. We'll see here. So how is ASAP going to lead into us? Looks like they're opting for Mienshao and Talonflame. I'm actually thinking Serena actually would have been amazing to handle this fake out pressure. I didn't think about it, but the flying coverage is priority because of Gale Wings, so hindsight, but I really should have gone with Serena here. Anyway, too late for that. Let's think of our play. Eternatus can't protect, but it also isn't really feeling any offensive pressure here, and Volcarona doesn't want to take a Brave Bird. So I think our best bet here is to protect Volk and Dynamax Cannon the Talonflame. Yeah, the flying coverage is just really dangerous, and because we have Urshifu in the back, and we just don't have the Queenly Majesty to stop it. So yeah, we should just take it out, and once we get any damage on that Talonflame, we'll be faster, assuming it doesn't set up Tailwind, which they very well might. Okay, so we protect, and they go for Fake Out into Volcarona. Amazing. Okay, that means they are going for Tailwind though. So this Dynamax Cannon might just give them a free switch in if they don't have Sash, and Mienshao generally carries the Sash, so we may have done them a favor. Do get to see that cool animation though. Love that. Okay, so the good news is we're up 4-3. The bad news is they have Tailwind and just get to have full offensive pressure. With that said, Mienshao doesn't really threaten either of our Mons. Fighting coverage isn't good into either of them, but they're bringing out the Groudon, and that is terrifying. Rock into Volcarona, Ground into Eternatus, not amazing. So, while Groudon might have the Rock coverage, I'm predicting Precipice Blades here. Volcarona can tank that, so I think we want to use a Sun-boosted Fiery Dance into their Groudon, and then we can swap Eternatus into Urshifu. We want to keep Mamoswine's Sash intact, so that's just not an option for the switch-in. And despite Urshifu generally being regarded as a frail mon, it actually has pretty solid physical bulk, and it'll take the attack neutrally. So I think swapping into Urshifu is really our only choice here. So their Mienshao should go first and knock off into Urshifu. Okay, not much damage. We lose our Scarf, but that's not the biggest deal because they have Tailwind up anyway, so if anything, it might even help us. Keyblades comes out, misses Urshifu, does a chunk into Volk, but it procs our Citrus Berry, so not bad at all. Honestly, I would say this is a decent turn for us. Hopefully this Fiery Dance does a good bit into Groudon. They generally don't have great special defense. It's not as much as I'd hoped. We are a very bulky Volk, but still. Maybe it's AV even, I don't even know. I would really like to use a special attack boost we just got, but Mienshao is almost certainly going to go for CC into Urshifu. So I think we have to Rage Powder. Urshifu should easily be able to take a Precipice Blades, assuming it hits for them. That's why I don't play Groudon. So let's just Wicked Blow it. If we do that, we should easily get it in range of an Ice Shard. And if we're lucky, we'll even get a Burn Off, so we'll see on that. CC, yep, as predicted, into Volcarona. Give me that Flame Body Burn, please, please, please. Stomping Tantrum. Weird. That kind of supports the AV theory, honestly. And we get the burn there too. Amazing. You know, after it's going to take a big Wicked Blow damage, but I don't hate that at all. Let's see. That is... Yeah, that should easily be in range of an Ice Shard, especially after the burn chip here. Yeah, they're into the red. Okay, great. So yeah, let's bring out the Mamoswine. So this turn should be pretty straightforward. We can put an Ice Shard into the Groudon slot, and they could protect or switch, but that makes it safe to swap Urshifu into Eternatus, because Mamoswine is absolutely safe because it has its Sash, so if Mienshao does a CC into it, it'll still live, and Eternatus can just get in for free here. So I think that's definitely the play. Their Tailwind will end soon. I guess Urshifu's lost its Sash, so it doesn't have guaranteed speed control, but not the end of the world. They do switch their Groudon into Zapdos. Not gonna appreciate an Ice Shard either. Like, that's still big, super effective damage. Don't forget that our Mamoswine is Adamant, so... This is Stab, this is Adamant, this is super effective. Zapdos does tend to spec very defensively in this meta, but still 50%, and I don't think Ice Shard counts as a contact move, so no Rocky Helmet or Static chance for us. CC, yep, there goes our Sash, so amazing. Alright, so for this turn, I think Ice Shard is really obvious into Zapdos since it's a 2-hit KO, so I actually like the idea of targeting Mienshao and double targeting it for that matter. Tailwind is gone, so Eternatus should outspeed it, and then priority from Ice Shard will break the Sash. Really thinking about this one. Yes, they go for Protect. Amazing. So we called that. I don't think... Mienshao might have Faint. That would be scary, but they don't. So great. Ice Shard into that. Crit down to the Sash. Doesn't matter, though. This Dynamax Cannon was definitely going to kill it anyway. There it is. Great. So we can pick up this KO. And now it is, they're going to have to bring out their burned Groudon with barely any health. With that said, I think we'll probably target Zapdos with the Ice Shard instead, since it just protected. I don't know. We'll see. It doesn't really matter at this point. We could even stall it out with for the burn chip. Yeah, Ice Shard and Zapdos, Dynamax Cannon into Groudon. This is actually the play every time because we outspeed with Eternatus. My opponent is a good sport, doesn't forfeit here, so we take out Zapdos with Ice Shard, and I think we'll get to see that awesome Dynamax Cannon animation to wrap up this battle. Nice. Alright. Good game to ASAP, and let's see if we can do another one. Alright, these games have been quick, so we can definitely jump into another one here. Our next opponent is KYS with a Calyrex Shadow team. So this is a really easy Urshifu Serena lead. Urshifu Dark, stop the fake out with Serena, fantastic. We put Eternatus in the back, and I think we run it out with Suicune. The Tailwind would be very nice to match theirs if we can get that out. Yeah. Plus yeah, we definitely want Suicune, because it matches up nicely into Arcanine and Stakataka. It can take hits from Calyrex Shadow. Its special defense is just really nice. Yeah, I think it's kind of a no-brainer that we can just lock into this one. How do you pronounce my opponent's name? Is it Kais? Is it an acronym? Because that's really inappropriate. Anyway, doesn't matter. Kind of wondering how they go with this, though, because despite their Calyrex Shadow being, very hyper-aggressive, they do have that Trick Room mode. Both Indeedee Male and Stakataka have the option to set here. Arcanine generally runs very bulky in this meta. Actually, I haven't seen it much since the very beginning of Series 10, but all the same, they do have a viable Trick Room mode into our fairly hyper-aggressive, speedy team, and when it's over, they could bring in Calyrex. We'll have to see how they choose to play this. I've even seen some teams do Calyrex Shadow setting Trick Room, which is interesting. I don't really like it, to be honest, but it's a cute gimmick for sure. And if you're doing best of one on the ladder, that's the way to do it. So let's see how our opponent leads here. Read that. So Mienshao and Indeedee Male. That's really interesting. They negate their own fake out with that, which makes Serena kind of pointless here. But I can do pretty serious damage with Urshifu into either of these. They could also do the same to me, though. Indeedee gets Dazzling Gleam, Mienshao has CC, and Urshifu is my win con into their restricted. Plus Mienshao always has Sash, so I might not even get the kill. I think this is a case where we want to use our Scarf to just U-turn out into Suicune, but the answer is into who? It would be super effective into Indeedee, but we could break a Sash on Mienshao. This is a tough one. Yeah, we're running out of time. Let's just double into the Mienshao. They can't fake us out. As long as Power Whip hits, this is a good play. Okay, cool. They're attacking. That's probably a Scarf Indeedee Male, but I didn't really want to risk a Protect on its part, whereas I know that Mienshao almost never carries it. So we can bring in Suicune. See what they go for. And it was Dazzling. So we were definitely right to U-turn out. I maybe would have preferred the bigger chip onto Indeedee, but it's fine. And then CC into Serena. Alright, that's a lot of damage, but let's just hope this Power Whip hits. They've lowered their defenses here, so... And we've broken their Sash, so as long as it hits, and it does. This should be a guaranteed kill here. Alright, I was a little nervous about that one, but turn one worked out very well for us. That crit was absolutely unnecessary. And our leftovers heals the tiny bit of chip we took from Dazzle. We're basically almost at full again. Alright. Who is my opponent going to bring out as their next one? Arcanine. Okay, they're saving their restricted. That does intimidate our Serena, so that kind of makes sense. But I'm still not too worried about it. This seems like a really easy opportunity to just set our Tailwind. And meanwhile, Serena is unfortunately kind of dead weight here. We don't really have any great options. I guess we could taunt, so Eternatus can have easy pressure with the Tailwind support we're setting. Maybe power up into that slot is better. I'm not really sure here. Honestly, I'm kind of just deliberating over something that doesn't matter a whole ton. The Power Whip isn't going to do a whole ton at -1. Even into something frail like Indeedee-Mail. This is a very bulky Serena because its main purpose is to stop priority. I didn't expect them to bring the Psychic Terrain, especially with Mienshao, but yeah, we'll see. And they withdraw it. That interesting. So they're gonna have to bring out their Restricted. I guess I would have liked to have the Power Whip damage into it, but in fact, I would have loved to have swapped out Serena, but Urshifu didn't want to take a Dazzle, and Eternatus didn't want to take an Expanding Force, so, you know, hindsight, if I could perfectly call everything, I'd have a much better time in VGC, I think. The taunt still goes off, so that means, you know, there's no nasty plot, there's no substitute coming out. That's very good on our part. So now we have speed control. Suicune's back at full health. Almost, anyway. So I think it's a great time to go for a Calm Mind here. Arcanine isn't the bulkiest, but Scald still won't OHKO without a boost. And we can get a stage of special defense up with the impending Astral Barrage, and we're just going to sack Serena here. We go for that Power Whip rather than protecting because it's doing nothing for us, and we really just want the free switch into our Urshifu. Even if Tailwind goes down, we have Scarf, so we definitely outspeed. Well, assuming it's not Scarf Calyrex, but that does happen. Some people run it, but it's relatively rare. And even if they do, they can't OHKO Dark Urshifu. Yeah, so Suicune is, of course, the fastest thing here with the Tailwind, so we get our Calm Mind up. That should help us live an Astral Barrage very well, unless they crit, but can't really help with that. They do go for the Astral, which I guess that makes sense. They're very lucky we didn't have Snarl on Suicune. That's a pretty standard bring. And they get their Grimnay boost, but that's fine. They're still taunted, they can't protect. We'll be able to take them out next turn. CC from Arcanine. Honestly, I was expecting the Snarl from it, but we'll absolutely take that. That means that Suicune gets to keep its boosts. And that wasn't very much damage. Plus, they lower their defenses, so with +1 on us and -1 on that Arcanine, we pretty much guarantee a Scald kill into that. And with Urshifu out, we have them pinned. Even if they had Protect, it really wouldn't matter now. I guess they could sub, though. So, yeah, this is amazing. We can just, very simple, Scald into Arcanine, Wicked Blow into Calyrex. They've just got an Indeedee-Mail in the back, so that won't appreciate either of these attacks, and definitely not the Wicked Blow. So this is an absolute pin. Generally, a pin refers to spread damage plus a single target, but it definitely applies here too, especially when your opponent only has 3 Pokemon left. And this is why it's really important to consider your switch-ins when you choose your mons. Indeedee-Mail plus Calyrex is a bit iffy. Wicked Blow comes out, no Sash, that is 1 dead Calyrex. And Scald wraps up that Arcanine, yes. Great, so this game is pretty much over at this point. We should, all they have in the back is that Indeedee-Mail. It may or may not be Scarfed, but Urshifu has a higher base speed than it, and we are Scarfed too, and we're not quite max speed, but we are close enough. We outspeed Tapu Lele, so we should absolutely beat this Indeedee. Scald, Wicked Blow, we really don't have any choice. We do have 1 more turn of Tailwind, so if they have Protect, they could do it, but it wouldn't really matter because we'd still outspeed with Urshifu afterwards anyway. Alright, easy OHKO with Urshifu. Another great game, and yeah, good game to my opponent here. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I had a lot of fun with this team, and I hope you do too. As always, you can check this team out with the rental code at the beginning of the video or the description, where you can also find the paste if you want to check it out on Showdown. There's only about a week or 2 left in Series 10, so I may be able to squeeze in one more team in that amount of time, but If not, then we'll be back with Series 11, which is going to be a redux of the Series 8 meta. I got a few videos in with that back during Series 8, so I haven't decided if I want to stick with this Road to Ranked style of video, or if I want to try something more educational, try some team guides, something along those lines. There definitely will be content coming, though, so keep an eye out. See y'all next time.